Sister sat by the bed, pouting her little mouth, with eyes that seemed to eat the male lead. The male lead was immune to such things. He pushed his sister down. The fall. Her butt was blooming. Sister said with grievance, "Brother, why are you so bold? You hurt me." Wen Yan, the male lead, slapped his sister's head. "Don't say such words that could be misunderstood." The male lead got up and put on his clothes, telling her to be obedient, "or I'll pull your ears." Wen Yin quickly covered her ears with her hands. She said, aggrieved, "I got it. I got it, don't pull my ears." The siblings were having breakfast. The TV was reporting about the demonization syndrome. Why does my sister have ears? It's all because 30 years ago, a huge dimensional crack appeared on Earth. Alien monsters invaded on a large scale. Fortunately, humans have mastered powerful thermal weapons and finally paid a heavy price to win. Human hearts. There's a 10% chance of having inhuman features, which scientists name the demonization syndrome. These babies with demonization syndrome are not welcome. They were often abandoned, bullied, and abused. The male lead sister, Ruan, was abandoned by her parents and grew up in an orphanage. Ruan suddenly said, "Brother, I want to find a part-time marriage." The male lead directly refused. "No, as a student, you should study hard." "Why do you want a part-time job?" Her sister was unconvinced and said, "My grades have always been the first in the school. Even if I do a part-time job, it won't affect it. And it can also subsidize the family." The male lead said confidently, "Your brother works in a big company, and my boss appreciates me. Maybe I'll get a promotion and a raise soon." The male lead gently stroked the soft little head. He said, "Don't worry about studying. When you graduate, the Magic Syndrome Patients Equal Rights Act will be passed. At that time, you will definitely find a good job." Hearing this, Ruan was like a chicken blood and decided to join her brother's company. The male lead quickly waved his hand, saying that Ruan could definitely find a better company. But Ruan's attitude was very firm. She just wanted to join her brother's company so that she could see her brother every day. The reason why the male lead doesn't want Ruan to work is that although the male lead works in a big company, Changmao Group, he is just a cleaner. You also want to be sad and sad. There is such a gentle big sister to comfort your wounded heart. The male lead is a cleaner in the big company Changmao Group. People like him without identity or education. And from an orphanage. He can't find a good job. All the time. He has been lying to his sister that he is a salesperson But now his sister decides to come here to work. If she comes, he will be exposed. A man in a suit passed by, knocked over the ladder of the male lead, and left as if nothing had happened. The man who fell. He didn't mean to apologize at all. You make me fall off the ladder. Shouldn't you apologize? The man in the suit looked impatient. Did I hear that right? A cleaner wants me to apologize. Do you deserve it? The male protagonist stood up and said, "What's wrong with a cleaner? You should apologize for what you did wrong." The man in the suit looked disdainful and threatened. Believe it or not, I'll make you disappear from this company tomorrow. Wen Yan finally endured it. He chose to swallow it. If he made things worse, he would lose his job. What about his sister? He has to support his family. Then the cleaning staff took the male lead back to the lounge. Lily put the man's head on her lap, gently soothing his wounded heart, and massaged his head to relax him. This made the male protagonist very embarrassed, and his face turned red. They slowly started chatting about family affairs. Lily said that at home, because I'm a magical syndrome patient, my younger brother feels ashamed of me and doesn't like me. Hearing this, Lily said that at home, it's not that you got it yourself. If I had such a sister, I would laugh in my dreams. You widened your eyes and hugged the male lead tightly, excitedly said, "No need to dream. From now on, you can treat me as your real sister." After returning home, the male lead recalled the events of the day. It seems that being a cleaner is not bad. Suddenly, at this time, Ruan suddenly called out brother and seemed very uncomfortable. Seeing this, the male protagonist quickly asked Ruan, "What's wrong?" Ruan gasped, "Brother, my hard day is coming. Please help me." You can imagine that the usually kind and honest male lead would do such a thing to his sister. Ruan was breathing heavily at such a close distance, and their faces were involuntarily red. The male lead comforted Ruan, telling her to lie down and rest quickly. "Don't be afraid. I'll help you treat it. For the demonized patients, the torment day is the most special day. Patients with demonic syndrome have superhuman physical strength. When Ruan was a child, could carry things much heavier than himself. Because of this, they are feared by humans. Until the appearance of the devil man, after the patient turns 16, they will feel weak for a day every month. Their physical strength is even worse than ordinary people. Normally, this pain will last for 24 hours. But the male lead has a way to shorten it to 1 minute. The male lead gently stroked Ruin's stomach. At this time, his hands seemed to have magic, and soon relieved Ruin's pain. Yes, this is the ability of the male lead. His hands can relieve the pain of the patient. However, there are also quite serious side effects. That is, the treated person will become addicted. Ruin's eyes lit up, saying that she still hurts and wanted her brother to continue the treatment. However, the male lead saw through Ruin's trick at a glance and directly gave Ruin a headbutt. Hearing this, Ruin thought of a strange idea, begging the male lead brother, "Do you want to sleep together? I'm afraid of Wen Yan." The male lead had no choice but to agree. "After all, today is my sister's difficult day." He was worried. In her sleep, Ruin mumbled, "Brother, I like you." But the male lead thought Ruin was in love. He was immediately angry. He thought that as a brother, it's time to teach her the basic principles of love. She must not be abducted by a bad man. The next day, the male lead was cleaning the glass and found a stain. But it couldn't be wiped off. At this time, a gentle voice sounded. "You need to use a typical cleaner." And this person was Lily. Lily gently taught the male lead the big trick to clean the glass is to breathe hot air on the glass and then wipe it off gently. Sure enough, Lily's method was very effective. The glass was cleaned very well. Then Lily also told the male lead, "Today is the first day of the chairman's daughter's presidency. It must be cleaned spotlessly. Come on." With a sweet smile, he thought she was an optimistic and positive girl. Even she was influenced. He was instantly full of energy. However, in the corner, Nan saw the intimacy between the male lead and Lily. He couldn't help but feel jealous. He kicked the nearby sewage bucket over. In this way, when the chairman's daughter saw it, the male lead would definitely be fired. What means did the male lead use to make the cold female CEO obsessed with him and love him so much? Steel Trade Group, the new president Fang Shikin has arrived. Thus, the CEO's secretary is also a patient with magical syndrome. It has to be said that both the president and the secretary have perfect figures. Their figures are simply perfect. The man in the suit saw the president arrive and drove the male lead away. He immediately greeted her. He bent down and said, "President, I'll show you the way." But Fang Shikin directly refused. The man in the suit was very unhappy. "Let's see how you will make a fool of yourself." Fang Shiking in high heels. She just stepped on the sewage on the ground and slipped. Fortunately, the CEO's secretary helped Fang Shiking in time. She was fine. Fang Shiking was angry. On the first day of taking office, such a thing happened. He directly blamed the male in the suit, Supervisor Wang. Why is there so much water on the floor? Isn't this just in the plan of the man in the suit? Immediately put all the blame on the male lead.